up now, we have the Oshkosh Police Department Mobile Command Center.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It is, and you'll find it parked out in neighborhoods with special events and things, and they do tours for the kids. Coming up now, we have the Winnebago Detachment 357 Marine Corps League Honor Guard, and the Marine Corps League received their congressional charter in 1937, and they do a wonderful job.
Lots of respect, people standing, taking their hats off, hands over their heart, acknowledging not only these men and women, but also our flag, which is so important for us today with everything going on in our world. And more clapping. And here is the Marine Corps League in the beautiful teal-colored car. Names that you were mentioning before. And here comes the all-important candy, which all the kids around us love as they throw.
The Marine Corps Auxiliary and Lori Grews, we've known for years with a number of events in the community.
That's one thing too, every year we come back to do this parade, it's like seeing old friends again.
And coming up now, we have the Oshkosh Police and the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard. And again, beautiful job that they do.
And right behind them is Kavanaugh Carriages, which I believe is carrying some of the parade committee. Beautiful horses. lots of candy. Boy, they're throwing it out by the handfuls. Really good. Well-behaved horses, too.
And coming up next, we've got the VFW. Oh.
I think that is VFW.
Should be the VFW.
Nicolay
Post 2126. And again, they're very active in the community. Another honor guard.
You know, doing a little research too on the flags here, that our flag of the United States of America is the third oldest flag in the world, which is amazing because you see our flag and you know what we stand for and what we're all about. And we're seeing lots of flags. Like you said, the Rotary gave out 10,000 flags here at our parade. And this is Menasha VFW Post 2126.
You can see the excitement of the kids with everything coming by, picking up the candy.
I'm not getting any of that candy this year.
I decided that I really had to be careful what kind I gave you. I was going to give you the M&M, or not M&Ms. The ones with the nuts in, just because the chocolate, because that's what you were all about, and a little bit of nut because we're both a little nutty. Helps to be that way to survive the day some days.
You know, and I remember last year too, they were giving out colder items too. Some people were giving out bottles of water or freeze pops. The weather today in Oshkosh is just gorgeous.
Perfect. There's a little bit of a breeze.
And we are blessed with this canopy that the Oshkosh Media crew has given us. So that's great.
Coming up next is Oshkosh Jazzercise. And the endurance of these people is just amazing because they dance the entire parade route. And just walking it is one thing. And the energy level that it takes to go through, and especially in the warm, especially the way it's been some years, very hot and very humid.
And they always choose music that gets the crowd excited, gets the crowd going. But like you said, it's also not easy to dance or exercise on pavement that switches all of the time from smooth to uneven, etc. like that. So we really give Oshkosh Jazzercise a round of applause. Let's sit and watch them and listen to music. Lots of cheers from the crowd for Oshkosh Jazzercise. And following them are some well-dressed people, Judy.
They are the Knights of Columbus. And the group that we have here are from Oshkosh, Omro, Winneconne, Berlin, Red Granite, and Darboy. And the different colors of their plumes have different significance.
Which I never knew before. So the purple, as we're looking at the purple, they're the commanders of the organization.
Right. And then the white is the present and past faithful navigators or presidents. And the red are the regular members of the fourth degree. And they're a nonprofit charitable organization.
So that's important to know, is that any funds that they're out there raising, they're not for profit and they go to help people in need. So we really appreciate them always being a staple in our parade.
And coming up next is 96.9 The Fox with the Fox Cities Roller Derby.
And I say this every year, I'm excited to see these people because
they can stay upright on the skates.
Yes, and I used to watch on TV a long time ago.
Roller derby and the whoa.
Roller girls, and I tell you, the little tussle going on there on the road. They're doing really good. There's roller guys in here too. Stop and watch a little of how athletic they are. You put a roller skates on me and I'm on the floor. So they're doing a really good job here.
And they do. Unfortunately, a few years ago, one of them caught their skate in a crack in the concrete and took a nasty spill and broke her ankle. But those incidents with the parade are very few and very far between.
And they're tough people. Thank you. And of course, handing out the candy afterwards is just a double treat then after getting to see them perform. You know, another little tidbit too, we had actually one of our presidents actually died on the 4th of July, and that was Calvin Coolidge. But Calvin Coolidge was born on the 4th of July. 3 presidents actually passed away on the 4th of July.
It's an ominous date.
Yeah.
It's a good date and an ominous date.
Yeah, exactly. And here we are at 96.9.
Their vehicle sponsoring the roller derby girls. And then
up next is as they're coming into sight after we hear the wonderful music, is the Military Veterans Museum with all of their wonderful vehicles. It's great to see them too, because they had a home at the old Park Plaza, and now they have a wonderful museum really close on the frontage road to EAA.
And so during EAA, not only visit, or any time of the year, not only visit the EAA museum, but the Veterans Museum. And you're in for a treat.
And actually, again, it's all about volunteering, so they always are in the need of volunteers at their museum also. So if you're interested in volunteering for anything that you see in the parade, please contact myself at 456-7013.
Or me at 651-3316.
We will definitely pass your information on to the organizations, because that's what keeps our community strong, is volunteering.
Well, and when we see these vehicles, I don't know about you, but I'm always reminded of Alan Alda, Hawkeye, and MASH. It's
exactly.
There's something about it, and I think part of that is my age that goes along with it.
I know, I think MASH was popular on TV like 30 years ago. I was just reading that, so do I feel old?
Oh, you were just a little kid?
Yeah.
I think I was a little older than that.
But it's nice to see them out, because a lot of people can and do go away for the 4th of July. But to see all of the people in our parade stay so they can put on a show for our wonderful audience, I think is just amazing too.
Well, in looking at the trucks, and I think back to when I was a kid, and entertainment for us, and this may sound silly to folks, but in a way it was the patriotism too. When the National Guard would head out for Camp McCoy, and they would go through Omro, the streets were lined with us kids and just hooping it up, and waving to the guys, and the guys waving back to us. And then when they came back through, we went down again. And to us, that was one of the hallmarks of summer.
And I'm sure the guys loved all the kids out there cheering too.
I'm sure they did because they were waving to us and everything. And it was a much more innocent time because with whatever conflicts were going on at the time, you got it in newsreels and little tidbits, if you had TV. Now, with all this instant being up, embedded in the troops and being right there, that innocence is gone.
Right. And with all the technology that we have, with things being posted right away from your cell phones or smartphones or YouTube, it is a whole different world. But this kind of brings it back down to where it should be, especially with everything that is going on in our world today, of what our country is all about, what our people are all about, what we believe in, and what we stand for. So truly it is God bless America. And another tidbit for you, Judy.
Okay.
The Star Spangled Banner officially became our anthem in 1931.
That's before my time.
See? So it's nice when you hear that song played at all of the sporting events and things like that. You just get that knot in your throat and you appreciate what you have. Another chance for us to talk to you about volunteering in our wonderful community. We do host a show. Actually, we're in our 13th year on.
And they said it would never last.
Yeah, they did, on Life TV and Helping Hands. So if you're interested in volunteering, always feel free to drop us a line. Judy, what is in front of us now?
These are the Zor Mavericks, and everybody loves the scooters and the precision formations that they do. And it's just amazing that they never run into one another.
Yes, yes. And also with the Zor Mavericks, we are also reminded that with all of their fundraising efforts that they do throughout the year, it all gets donated to the Shriners Hospital.
Right. And Shriners Hospital, and there are several across the country, but Shriners Hospital, the care for those children is never charged to the parents, the family. And every year I go back to the fact that when my husband was a child, he was severely burned, and so his family received, he and his family received all the wonderful care that was available there in Chicago back in the day. And that same level of caring goes on today.
And especially in our world today, once again, where money is tight, and to be able to give your children the care that they need at no cost to the family is wonderful. So hats off. I don't expect them to take their hats off, but hats off to the Zor Mavericks for the wonderful work that they do, and also for being a constant feature in our Oshkosh 4th of July parade.
And coming up next is should be the VFW parade, also their honor guard. That's VFW Post 1908 from Oshkosh.
The crowd once again standing, saluting, respecting our flag, but not only our flag, the men and women who fought and fight for our country and our freedoms. As the Zors are still zooming around us.
One of the things to note is that even though we have more and more veterans in the community, the membership in the veterans organizations is not necessarily growing. And so any of the younger vets out there, it's a great opportunity to share your experiences, gain a lot of support, and to be honored. You may not be looking for the honor, but to be honored, to be welcomed. We keep going back to the Vietnam vets who are, the moving force for the parade. When they came back, my uncles talk about when they came back from World War II, they came back and it was life as usual the next day, but there was a degree of honor to it. when I talked to a number of other vets, including my brother, um, when they came back, they had to sort of skulk back home because it was a very distasteful war. Many went to Canada to escape the draft, but people would spit on them and all the nastiness that came with it. And it's only the last, several years that they're getting the honor that they deserve.
And one thing too that I noticed with a lot of these groups, no matter what branch of service you served, there's a lot of younger people stepping up to the plate now and becoming part of the groups and taking leadership roles because they know that the older people just can't do it anymore. So I'm always pleased to see that. There's the Ladies Auxiliary from the VFW. Could not do anything without the Ladies Auxiliary, I tell you that. And then coming into sight, we hear the music and we see them. It's the VFW Band. Under the direction of Lisa Zemlach, who is the director, and Paul Buteau, who is the manager. Nothing like music in a parade. Beautiful music. And now, Judy, coming into view is
the
Winnebagoland BMX.
Club. And again, the bicycle riders, the stunts that those kids do is amazing. And they use all the safety gear. You go back.
Which is one thing I'm glad that you said because they have the knee pads, they have the helmets, they're safe. Safety's always first.
Most of them have got some hand and wrist protection.
Nice bright colors too.
When you go back to when we were kids, helmets and whatever were not there, and how many people have been hurt, and some lifelong changes because of the hurt.
And their track is on Jackson Street, adjacent to the Winnebago County Fairgrounds. Races take place on Wednesday nights and Saturdays at noon, May through October. So if you're looking for something to do, to participate in, or to see, try the Winnebagoland BMX Club.
And coming up next, we've got the Oshkosh Spartan Wrestling Club. And they are committed to taking wrestling to the next level. Their weekly practices, they have their various competitions. And one of the things that, as much as I, in the family concept of the wrestling and things can get a little rowdy, these folks learn a lot of discipline and teamwork. And you'll hear me say that so many times throughout the parade. The discipline, the teamwork. It's not all about the all about me attitude.
Exactly. And they are celebrating this year their first state champion. So congratulations to the Oshkosh Spartan Wrestling Club under the direction of J.R. Zemke. We appreciate what you're doing for our youth today and making a difference in the lives of our youth.
And coming up now, we've got Richard's School of Dance. And again, we're talking about the discipline, the coordination. It takes a lot of effort for these. It's mostly girls, but there's some young guys in there to be able to put on the shows that they do. And it's just a lot of what they learn is life skill. It really is.
Great song choice too for them. And also we have to remember it's not only the children involved here, it's also the parents who take them to the classes, take them to all the events in the dance recital. So hats off to all you parents.
And just look at the unicycles. Could you ever ride one?
Oh my gosh. I saw them warming up before the parade, and they were doing a good job. Judy, this brings back memories to 1953 because coming into sight is Oshkosh's royalty, our very own first Miss Oshkosh.
Right, Carol Fenrick. And she's been in the parade for a number of years. She's a very active community volunteer. I'm always running into her one place or another.
Her crown looks great on her head. She looks wonderful, and she started it all off for us as our very own first Miss Oshkosh. So congratulations and thank you for being here.
And coming up now is Samantha Sanchez. I believe it's Miss World.
Mrs. Wisconsin.
Or Mrs. Wisconsin.
Yes.
United States.
Well, glad to have you in our parade. Boy, she has the patriotic dress in the patriotic car and a big smile on her face. So we're so glad that she could join us in our parade today.
And then coming up next is Serena Laurie, who is Miss Oshkosh.
She is wonderful. Her sister also was Miss Oshkosh, I believe, 10 years ago.
Yes.
Serena was voted most photogenic, and also she was the People's Choice for the top 11. So we really do appreciate everything that the girls do in the Miss Oshkosh, Miss Wisconsin pageant.
And then coming up next is Miss Oshkosh's Outstanding Teen. And you've got lots of goodies on her.
Boy, so we are very glad to have her. She was just in the Miss Wisconsin Teen pageant representing Oshkosh. We're glad that she could be here with us today.
Bailey Cottrell. And coming up next, we have the Oshkosh Area Community Band. And they just did a concert at the Alberta Kimball Auditorium. Actually, I believe the last one was at the Grand, but they're normally at the Alberta Kimball Auditorium.
Right in front of us now, they're all smiling, they're all happy, they're playing wonderful music for us. The Oshkosh Area Community Band under Terry Hathaway. Well, Judy, here comes a staple in our parade too. Also,
this is KG and the Ranger, and it is Karen Gogolick and Rick Rolchin with the armadillo.
I wonder if his arm gets tired by the end of the parade. He's doing lots of rope tricks for us and for our audience. And behind him then is the AmVets Auxiliary, Post 7 from Oshkosh. Nice, crisp white uniforms. Very nice.
And then the American Black Belt Academy. And we'll come back again to the discipline, the teamwork, the coordination that it takes for these youth to participate in their endeavors.
And they're marching in our parade, and they're also will be doing some activities throughout the parade also. So, and that takes a lot because this is a long parade route as it starts here downtown and goes to our wonderful park where Sawdust Days is going on. So we're glad to have you. And again, these are options for families of things to do. If you're not a dancer, why not try out the Black Belt Academy? Well, Judy, do you hear that noise?
Yes.
That can only be one thing.
That has to be the Festival Foods cart, giant grocery cart. Wonderful for promoting the needs for the food pantries in the community. Kids always love seeing it in the parades, and speaks well of the festival's participation and support of the local nonprofits and other community
and the
events.
4th of July
Yes.
and the fireworks. They're really involved in the community. One year we were in the parade with the float, and their car had a little trouble, and so we kind of helped them out a little, get them going. But we're so glad, and also as we want to give credit to the disabled American veterans who are right before the festival grocery cart where they're zooming their engine for us today. All the smiling people decked out in their red, white, and blue.
And you look at the kids up in where you normally put one, we've got 4 sitting up there.
Oh my gosh. So thank you to Festival Foods, who is a great supporter in our community and a great supporter of the fun that we all are going to enjoy.
And coming up next, we've got Felix Auto Tire and Towing. And when you have a little problem on the road, they're a great one to call. You know, the old pickup that has been brought out just special for the parade, decked out with the red, white, and blue.
We're glad they could be here. I think they might be new to our parade too this year.
As far as I know, yes.
And again, their float says thank you for your service, vets, which is what this is all about, is a different way of saying thank you to those people who fought for our freedoms.
And next we have Nash FM radio, 99.5 and 104.9. Country for Life.
They are my country station. I listen to Nash FM.
And next we have the Oshkosh Lodge 27, the Free and Accepted Masons of Wisconsin. And what's really neat is the Masonic Temple has been open to a lot more community activities.
Which is true.
Some renovation, they're now handicap accessible.
And a wide variety of activities, from wrestling to other fundraising things too, so we appreciate that.
Right. And next we've got the 1157th Transportation Company of the National Guard. And again, their military vehicles all lined up. They seem to look a little bit familiar.
And you know what I like too is the National Guard personnel that are handing out the candy are stopping and talking to the people as they're walking about, especially the children, which I think is great for them to do. I love the personal touch. Instead of throwing the candy, they're having people
and allowing choices.
Yeah. Amazing.
And watching, and they get down on their hands and knees with the little kids, right? You know, face to face, not leaning over.
Exactly. That is really nice. So once again, thank you for supporting the National Guard, for supporting our parades. Now I have a fact for you before we talk about these people. The first tractor was not called a tractor. It was called a gas engine. It was built in 1892 in Iowa.
That's before my time.
That's my knowledge of the tractor. So here you go, Judy.
I'm not the expert by any means, but coming up is the Stan Henke family from the town of Nakaimai. And they've been in our parade. I think they missed last year because of a health concern with one of the members. But they've been in our parade for years. And they're strong supporters of the community. They've been very active out in the town of Nakaimai forever. And when you look at the tractors and the evolution, the bigger the tractor, the more the money, obviously.
Yes.
And it's working smarter with less equipment, but, and I go back, you know, there's a farm out in the town of Plegan that's been in our family since the early to mid 1800s. And when I look at the pictures of what was used years and years ago to what is used on the farms today, a huge difference.
And we do want to say this is called family volunteering here because they have Mike, Stan, Mark, and Logan Henke are all involved in this. So, and that's one thing we're finding in our own trend today is people want to volunteer as a family. So hats off to the Henke family for always being a part of our parade and volunteering together. And here we go, Judy.
I'm not sure who this group belongs to.
I see some.
Bella Vista. Bella Vista is
animals.
Bella Vista is a senior community located in the old Mercy Hospital building over on Hazel.
And I would
And-
imagine that those are their therapy dogs that they might have there, and they're gorgeous dogs.
Or they could be the, pets of some of the residents. And, or as you said, brought in. Bella Vista has some independent living, they've got assisted living, and then they've got the skilled nursing area, and they do a lot of memory care. So folks with Alzheimer's or...
And speaking, Judy, that your segues are wonderful. Speaking of memory care, the Walk to End Alzheimer's in Oshkosh will be September 18th at 9 a.m. at UWO Colf Center. So a lot of people support things that are important to them or that affect them in some way. So look for more information on the Alzheimer's Walk.
Coming up next, we have the American Legion Post 70, the auxiliary, and the junior auxiliary. And again, another honor guard.
And to me, this is what the 4th of July parade is all about right here. So we don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 4th of July is also about hot dogs. Do you know that hot dogs are the number one thing grilled on the 4th of July? Guess how many hot dogs are consumed on the 4th of July in our country?
Millions.
155 million hot dogs. And I will be adding to that number today. So.
And I don't know about you, but I like mine crunchy.
Oh, hey, Judy, so do I. So that is the way I like it when people look at me like I'm crazy, but that is
they're
good.
so much better when they're crunchy.
Yeah, and actually Nathan's has the hot dog eating contest. The record for hot dog eating, 68 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Talk about gluttony.
Yes, I couldn't do that, but hey, it's always fun to watch them do it and see the different techniques they have on how to eat hot dogs. But hey, red, white, and blue, God bless America, hot dogs and apple pie, and throw in baseball too, and throw in sawdust days here in Oshkosh, and we're celebrating a lot of things today. In front of us is the American Legion Cook Fuller Post 70 with their vehicles, and inside their vehicles are the auxiliary president and members of the auxiliary. All their cars look wonderful. Had them probably waxed and cleaned before they got into the parade.
Hey, I should have put mine in. Mine's
See?
bright red.
Oh, see? That would have been right in between these two. Would have been really, really nice.
Well, there was a comment. One of my neighbors just bought a new car, and he told me he was getting red. And he parks right next to me. And then when I saw him, must have been Saturday, and I made a comment to him, well, that's not red. Well, yours is burgundy. That's red. Burgundy. I said,
I know.
no. I said, no. Yours is burgundy. I was told mine was Hot Mama Red.
Oh, that's a new color too, huh, Mama Red?
Oh.
That's what I love
I
too.
have relatives you better not know.
So once again, all of these groups and organizations not only help put on the parade by participating in it, but they're active all year round in raising funds for all of their respective causes. So we appreciate them being in our wonderful parade and being with us today.
Coming up next, we've got 1490 WOSH AM, and they do a lot of supporting of the local community.
Which is nice for not-for-profits too, because they, as you said, they will highlight the not-for-profits on their radio station,
Right.
come in and do a tape segment, things like that. So
Yeah,
radio support.
Bob Burnell does a wonderful job of that for us. Next, we have the Winnebago County Republican Party with a lot of our candidates and their committees.
And there is another tractor now. The Hankey tractors were red. Here is your typical,
Green John Deere.
yeah, go Packers, which reminds us that football season will be starting soon. So it's nice that here in our parade, we have lots of different opportunities to support a lot of different causes. So Also, a reminder that the birthplace of the Republican Party is in Ripon, Wisconsin, our very own Ripon, which is one of our close neighbors. So, thank you for being here. And again, what you're seeing in front of you are volunteers.
Yes, they are.
Couldn't do any of this without volunteers, not only in the parade, but with all the offices that people are running for, it takes volunteers to support. So we're very, very thankful for all of that also. I love that song by Lee Greenwood too.
That's one of the most played songs at the holiday, or the 4th of July holiday.
And they're all out there. They're smiling. They're handing out red, white, and blue
Party
patriotic
beads.
necklaces. Yeah, party beads. You don't have to do anything to get those beads. Enough said. Even though you just told us Hot Mama Red was the color of your car. Okay, so it's nice to see all the candidates here.
Well, you have to understand, people like to pick on me for some reason.
Oh, so this is wonderful. And I think every year people get more and more creative with what they pass out during the parades. Like the party beads are a fun accessory, along with the flags and everything else.
Coming up next, we've got the Oshkosh Gymnastics and Cheer. And again, they not only are they walking the parade, but they will be doing some of their routines and cartwheels.
In the road as they're walking. And I think too, we're talking about diversity here. If your child can't sing and dance and isn't coordinated to do maybe karate, here you have the gymnastics center where you learn tumbling, you learn all sorts of different things. And it's a great time to also meet other kids too. So hats off to our Oshkosh Gymnastics and Cheer Center and their wonderful patriotic uniforms. Energy. And I have to say this too, the parade lines up early. We're here by 8 o'clock.
We're here and they're starting at, well, the committee is starting by 6, and they're starting with the lineup already between 7 and 7:30.
And to see the energy that these kids have after really they've been waiting for a while to come down the road, I think that is great. We have a little break, so this gives us a chance to just thank Oshkosh Media for covering the parade, and also our wonderful crew, which is Jake, Scott, Daryl, and Ian, who also provided us with this wonderful canopy today. Check out the Oshkosh Media on oshkoshmedia.org. Lots of wonderful shows on Life TV for you to see, also including the replay of this parade.
Coming up next, we've got Oshkosh All-Star Cheer. And again, and they're the Jets. Again, the routines, the energy going through, the discipline that they learn.
I think they're going to do a couple stunts for us. And they're in camera view to do it too.
I'm not that brave.
That is hard enough to do on a gym floor. My daughter was a flyer when she was a cheerleader in grade school and college. That's hard enough to do when you have the gym floor, but to do it on our city streets of Oshkosh, hats off to you. Wonderful. And again, like you said before, all ages. We're seeing all ages represented here.
And we have to always, when we watch these kids, the youth, we have to thank the parents, because without them and the dedication that they have for it, we wouldn't have the kids doing it.
Well, you know how that is too. Your kids were active in school.
Oh yeah.
My kids were active. It's like once they're done, you kind of miss that and go to withdrawal.
But then there's this little gap, and then the grandkids come along. And again, living where I do, it's, my neighbors are going to all the sporting events, cultural events for the grandkids and the great-grandkids. And this idea that retirement, you're sitting in your rocking chair, no, retirement is a very busy time volunteering, family being able to go and watch the kids do things that you couldn't when you were working.
Right. And also, like we said today, more and more grandparents are babysitting or raising their grandchildren also.
Right.
Which keeps them young and keeps them active and gives them energy. So that's
Although
great
at
too.
the end of the day, we're a lot more pooped than we were when we were younger.
Look at the golf cart, very nicely decorated there.
And coming up next is the Winnebago County Fairest of the Fair, Tegan Schwab. And the fair is coming up in August.
3rd through 7th, which is not that far away. So she's a great representative for us of promoting the Winnebago County Fair, August 3rd through 7th. Well, this, Judy, you were talking about changes in technology. This looks like a really modern tractor. And it's carrying Miss Rural
Winnebago County, Jody Weiland.
That is awesome. And some
that
more
does
truckers.
not look like the case tractor that my uncle had.
And here we go, another green and gold John Deere tractor. The fair is a great time. It kind of signifies that school's going to start soon. So it's a great time for families to get together and go to the fair. The Winnebago County Fair, August 3rd through 7th, to see all the wonderful displays from the 4-H kids, to see the animals. Great time. And to go on some rides.
Well, there is that. And you go back to the 4-H and the amount of time and effort that those youth put into their activities, be it raising animals for show that then are auctioned off. And yes.
And like you said,
or
and the
flowers,
creativity.
It used to be the sewing and a few other things, and the scope of what is done today for their activities is just amazing.
And all those organizations are educational, they're nurturing. They give the kids something to do in a creative outlet which carries on throughout their life. So, and supporting farmers is wonderful also. So
But a lot
congratulations.
of the clubs are urban.
Yep.
So, coming up next is Lamers Bus Lines, and Lamers is the one of the major sponsors and providers of travel for the military.
And you can kind of see that depicted on their bus with the beautiful artwork that is on there.
Flag raising from Iwo Jima on this one.
Yes. Land of the free and brave, give me liberty. Which again brings the focus to why we're here. It's not about the candy today or anything like that. It's about celebrating our freedoms and honoring our veterans, those men and women who have gone before us and who are with us today, who are still protecting what we all enjoy today. Up now is Link Computer Solutions. I saw lots of kids getting really excited about their computer mascot.
Well, with Link Computer Solutions, they're over in the old Jordy's Beverage Mart building.
Right in my neighborhood.
And what a couple of my neighbors love is when they run into problems with their computers, since they've become part of their client list over there, they can now dial in and fix the computer without having to take the computer in, which is a convenience to the seniors.
And it's like having the support that we have had at our businesses where we can do it ourselves. So
we do it ourselves, or we have the dial-ins with ours too, depending on the support that we need. So.
And in our world today with smartphones and everything mixed in together, it's great to have a place to go. So thank you, Link Computer Solutions, for being in our parade. And now we have the award-winning Julie's Touch of Silver.
And we were talking earlier about watching the kids in the group from the teeny tiny up to the high school and college age, and the ones that have graduated to being on staff or volunteering to help with the groups. When my neighbor's granddaughter was watching the Miss Outstanding team, and somebody was, I think it was the one that was actually chosen, was twirling and tossing and doing a backflip. And Sharon said, she dropped one. And Elena looked over and said, dropping one when you're doing a back bend? That's doing good.
Yeah, and Kylene went on to win. So.
Yeah.
And she not only represents Julie, she represents the wonderful neighbor city of Fond du Lac. So, and I love their music choice every year. Katy Perry's Firework gets the crowd going. Their red uniforms just stand out so nice in the sun and sparkle and shine. And again, we have all of the different ages represented here at Julie's Touch of Silver, and she's located right by the Oshkosh Gymnastics Center. So lots of stuff for our youth to do in our community. I think it's fun watching the crowd trying to pick out their loved one or their family member too of where they are in the parade.
Lots of sparkle, their batons and their sequins and their smiles.
And they're going to keep that smile going from downtown Oshkosh at Grand Opera House Square all the way to Sawdust Days at Menominee Park. Thank you, Julies, for always being in the parade, being a staple of the parade that we can count on throughout the year.
Coming up next, we've got Bethel Home. And if you notice, this year we've got a special edition. And these are the rickshaws for the Cycling Without Age. And we have individuals who are volunteers in the community who serve as pilots. There's a special training that goes with it. And then the residents get to go for a ride. And they go out around in all areas of the community, maybe past the old neighborhood, you name it, they do it. The residents absolutely love it.
I know one of their taglines is, it's nice to have the wind blowing through our hair again.
Yes.
So it's nice to see the younger people. Usually the police department helps out with guiding the vehicles, being a driver, but look at all the young people.
And the one thing I'm not seeing today that is a strong recommendation or requirement is the use of helmets. And probably because it's such a low speed here.
Right.
And then we have residents who are riding in the van.
And they're always in the van because the residents help make all the flowers and that are on their floats. And we do have to say that Bethel Home always has award-winning floats in no matter what the parade that's being celebrated in Oshkosh.
Well, and I will say that the residents are involved with their activities. It's not just the itty-bitty whatevers. They do a lot. They've been doing a lot for our Meals on Wheels program, and very unique, nice that our recipients love receiving and our volunteers love taking out. So,
and in front of us now then is the Winnebago County Democratic Party with volunteers and candidates also. So glad to have them in the parade, getting to handshake and meet the people and talk to the people since the big elections are coming up and they're not that far away. And again, as we said too, we're privileged to be here in downtown Oshkosh, Grand Opera House right behind us. Beautiful weather, and just to see all of these people turn out for this parade. It's a great day.
Well, in the fact that in America, we have the right to free elections. You're not forced into voting or not voting. You're not told. We have the politicking, but you're not basically held at gunpoint to vote for.
Right.
And
even when you look at our city council, too, younger and younger people are going out to be on our city council because instead of just complaining about something, they want to actually go and do something about it. So really, our younger people, we don't hear a lot of good things about our young people all of the time. It's nice to know that our young people are leaders in our community and want to see change in our community also. So that's also really important for all of us.
And coming up next, and I torture the name every year, the Ahmadiyya, I believe, Muslim community. And they are so involved in the community. And they've done the food drives and
Blood
things,
drives.
and a lot of informational programs in the community. And they're good neighbors. They really are. They really truly are good neighbors.
And right before them was the Vandersea Pump and Ladder Company, who are throwing out bags of snacks, which is a new one this
And,
year. So.
well, Vandersea family has been in before, but not with the car that way.
Yeah, I thought they
Didn't
always
used
had
to
the
have
train. Yes,
the
they
train
had-
or the fire truck.
Yeah, so it's nice to see a change up here going on.
Just kind of threw us a little bit.
Yeah. I know, I was expecting to see either,
Yes.
like you said, the fire truck or the long train. So, hey, that was cool. And that was the first time I've seen people throw out bags of snacks. So that's a good change also. Hey. It's nice to hear the clapping and appreciation for anyone who's in the parade, because it does take a lot. This is a long course to walk.
It definitely is. And you and I both do a lot of walking. We're
Yep.
active. But to walk a parade route like this takes a different type of stamina than what
Yes.
we're used to doing.
And
Because-
depending if you're in the heat, if you're in the shade, if you're carrying something,
And-
if you're doing something.
And for you, it's been a little more difficult with that foot.
Oh, it's fun. Yes, exactly. I tell you, hopefully health problems are over for everyone now, and we're all going to be healthy and happy for the rest of 2016.
Okay, and here we have Body Works International. And again, the various routines that they do, the exercise, and the energy that they keep up through that entire parade route.
And we want to celebrate them also because they're right here on Main Street in Oshkosh, which is nice to see and to recognize businesses that are staying on Oregon Street, on Main Street. It's nice to have a downtown to go to.
Well, when you look at the last 5 to 10 years, the change in the downtown and how many little shops and some bigger ones, what's coming. Ski's Market, a very niche type
Yes.
place to go, but some very good product. Here we have Lemke for State Senate.
You know what I love is I just love how creative everyone is with their shirts or their attire. The red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes, the colors, the designs. Really nice to see here. I never did find, I love that one shirt last year. I never could find it that I saw someone wearing the parade. But again, for us, it's hard to believe that November, Judy, is not that far away when you think
right.
about it. And that's the big election. And coming into view right now is the Elks, Oshkosh Lodge 292. Again, the Elks do so much in our community, especially with scholarships for kids.
They do. And then also at Christmas, the food baskets that they send out they're phenomenal. They really are. But very active.
So you can't really say to us, to Judy and John from Helping Hands, that you can't find something to do in our community when it comes to volunteering, because we have many, many options for you. No matter what your age, no matter what your likes, we will find you something to do in our wonderful community.
And there are some folks that enjoy getting down and dirty, and there are some who prefer to be more the ambassador type, where
Right.
they're schmoozing, and there's a lot of jobs in between.
Some people want to be behind the scenes, and we find out that a lot of volunteers want to do office work, which is wonderful because it helps us do other things then in our jobs. So once again, this parade is put on by volunteers, and we celebrate volunteers today and all they do.
And talk about behind the scenes. I like the ones that I do, the paperwork from home in my jammies.
Yeah, that's always the best. And coming up here is the City of Oshkosh float. Every year they have a wonderful patriotic float. This one has definitely got the emphasis on stars and stripes.
And they're handing out popsicles.
Oh, there we go.
And Coming up next, we have the Humane Society.
Oh my gosh. I look forward to this. My daughter wants Edie and me to get a dog so badly. She's been on all these websites, and I said, well, maybe I'll see one in the parade today. But it's a great place to get an animal, to adopt an animal, to take care of an animal. So we appreciate all the work of the Oshkosh Area Humane Society, not only their paid staff, but also their volunteers who would do a lot of fostering of animals at home.
Are we talking about Diane?
Yes. Yes.
And Diane is involved in a million different things.
Oh my
it
gosh.
seems.
Yes.
Always.
Look at how cute those animals are. They are adorable. And again, a lot of the animals that you're seeing here are therapy animals. So they're trained specifically and also have insurance to be a therapy animal. And therapy animals are used in hospitals, they're used in nursing homes, they're used
After
all over.
disasters.
Yes.
Coming up next here are the antique bicycle riders.
I thought riding regular bicycle was bad. I don't know how. I don't even know how you get on.
Very carefully.
Yeah. Stay on and then get off. I tell you, that's...
You've got to have a good sense of balance.
Yeah, that is something else. And then again, I love that their clothing always goes with the era of the bicycles too. Here comes the Verve Cube. Well, I've always thought this was a unique idea for their truck to have this cube where they could decorate or do things in, especially during the holiday Christmas parade. That is a great place to be inside that cube. But hats off to Verve again, a credit union that is involved in our community and believes in giving back.
They definitely do, and they've merged several times, so people will remember it as the Axel Credit Union to
Citizens First.
So they've been around in the community for a very long time.
So great, Verve is wonderful.
And coming up next, we've got the City of Oshkosh, the Fire Department, starting with the command car and one of the, I think that's the pumper truck, and
now I think we're told that the city council will be riding in the trucks.
And somehow or other, I don't see them on top
I
like they
know.
usually are. Okay.
Again, it takes a lot of departments to bring a city together and to have the city work so smoothly together. Having our fire department work together with the police department and the EMTs and the ambulances and the rescue is
the
great.
council is walking, I think.
Oh yeah, they are. So
And-
city council's walking, handing out candy.
And what's missing this year is the ambulance that was listed that was going to be in, but I heard sirens before, so maybe
did
it's
I.
out on a call.
I think the ambulance was needed. But here you can see in the nice blue shirts are our elected officials that run our city, the City of Oshkosh City Council.
One of the things that we're seeing, those of us that sit on various city committees, is the council is taking a very active interest in the committees themselves and come to many of the meetings. So it's really improving communication.
Right.
Next thing is the Oshkosh Speed Zones Raceway, Friday night racing. And remember the old fairgrounds and the racing and
Yes.
the bleachers?
I miss the old fairgrounds. Right where on the corner where Pick and Save and all of that new stuff was. That was nice to go.
That entire block.
Yeah, it was wonderful to go to. So, right. Thank you. So Friday night racing, there is so much to do. You know, you can't do it all. I mean, there's the farmers market in downtown on Saturday. You have Friday night racing. We have Wednesday night racing. Activities.
And coming up will be the soon will be the Wednesday night at South Park, which is strictly the produce, the farmer part,
that's
not
cool.
not the other vendors that they have when they're downtown. So
It's something the truck, right? It's called.
coming up the first Friday night in August is the food truck night,
Yes.
which is a fundraiser for the Oshkosh Senior Center.
That I think is a cool idea, that they're going to have all the food trucks there, and we all have to eat,
We do.
and to purchase the food, it's going to benefit the senior center.
And
So
there'll
that's
be
great.
music and dancing and games and all sorts of things. It replaces the September grandparents' fall
Oh,
fest.
really? It does. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know. See, we have to get together to know what's going on.
And our
Thank you.
our friend Judy Brewer is part of the organizing committee on that.
And again, here we have Dulkey, an independent running for U.S. Congress, which is nice too. Again, people want to make a difference. They're not just complaining, they're going out there and they're running for office and trying to make a change. So great for them. This church and school is a staple in our parades, whether it's the holiday parade. What I love about them, it's live music. So this is Trinity Lutheran Church and School.
Well, at Halloween too, they do what is it, trunk or treat,
Oh,
lining up in the parking lot.
there's nothing like live music, I tell you. Thank you to Trinity Lutheran Church and School.
Fox. And then we just had Fox Valley Pride Out Loud. And
And like you said, this is just wonderful. I could not ask. We all know how hot I always get. So to have a canopy, to have this breeze in downtown Oshkosh, this is great. You know, I have another thing too. You know, I just did all this research because like I have nothing to do. People's Brewery was built in 1911 here in Oshkosh, and also the Magnet Bar. 1940 was the first bar in Wisconsin to get their beer license.
and
So-
and here's the Oshkosh
Oh.
United Way.
With
And
their giveaway.
Their giveaway is a Jeep Liberty.
I love it. Red,
and-
white, and give.
And if you increase your pledge or are a new pledge, you're in the drawing for it.
Creative ways to raise money
Right.
for worthy organizations. And the United Way helps promote so many not-for-profits in our community. Right behind it is another car I wouldn't mind having. It's Rich and Rare Limousine Service. Can you imagine driving in that to work, Judy?
Oh yeah, Glen Valley Farms, and it's a family fun barn where kids learn to ride and to care for horses, and
Wonderful therapy too, for, as we know, with lots of different diseases that affect people. Horse therapy is great. So
and if you look at some of the disability programs, the balancing to be able to ride a horse is so good, and it also strengthens a lot of muscles.
right, and not to be afraid of the horses. I mean that is great, and they're beautiful animals, and really appreciate the work that they do.
And we really appreciate the group coming behind with the shovels.
How do you get that detail?
Hey, I grew up out in the country.
Oh, but that's a nice detail to have, especially if you're a marching group right behind them. That is a
Absolutely.
great detail. So I appreciate the work that those guys do with shovels because they keep our streets clean. So thank you, Glen Valley Farm, for that. Oh, and look at the dog in the on the hay bale float. Oh my gosh. That is really nice. Oh, that just makes my day. Oh.
Well, as we were talking earlier, the candy and the nuts, and it helps to be a little bit nutty.
Oh. This is really a nice. a nice looking float too that's being pulled by this wonderful white vehicle. It just reminds you of the country, of sitting on the porch with a glass of lemonade on a hot summer day. So,
Mm-hmm. And I have to correct something I said earlier. That was a Jeep Patriot, not a Jeep Liberty
oh,
for the United Way. Coming up next is Jordan Hansen for assembly.
wow, that took time. That really took time and creativity for the float. That is really, really nice. Nicely done.
Okay. Here's the car for the.
Oh, okay. And so now, coming into view after this wonderful float, we do have an event put on by the Titans Sport Raffles from UW Oshkosh Titans. You can win that beautiful car that we happen to see in front of us, a beautiful blue car. It's a 2016 Chevrolet Camaro, and this is all put on by UW Oshkosh Titans. So another great way to support activities in our communities, and really the Titans and the students at our university do a lot for us in our community, volunteering at our not-for-profits,
Right.
leadership roles. So you can actually win that 2016 Camaro from Bergstrom of Oshkosh, and again, it's the UW Oshkosh Titans who are doing this. The drawing will be October 22nd, 2016 at 1 p.m. at J.J. Keller Field, which for the homecoming game. And October, Judy, sounds so far away. But
It's not, it's around the
it's not
corner.
when we think that this is July 4th already. So another great way to support activities and events in our community. Judy, as long as we have a stall in the parade, do you want to thank some of the parade committee?
We do.
again?
We do. Our committee is Rick Wing, Ann Hulk, and Dee Shates for the actual parade committee. And then the lineup committee is Dwayne Cannon, Rick Wing, Chuck Butzloff, Gary Lee, Bruce Williams, Joe Vandenheuvel, Jeff Freund, Myron Dimmitt, Jake Hendricks, Dennis Cartwright. They're with the Vietnam Veterans of America. And then we have the Associates of Vietnam Veterans of America, the ladies group. Betty Cannon, Donna Butzloff, Gloria Cartwright, Dee Shates, and Ann Hulk.
Without them, there would be no parade. So we're really excited that they could be here and be part of our wonderful parade that we have going on today in downtown Oshkosh, our annual 4th of July parade.
And here we have Cricket Wireless. They're new to our group.
And again, just for all of those people who are watching this parade being taped, we also want to thank the people that came on kind of before the parade to get everything started, and that would be Southwest Rotary with the flags, Oshkosh Defense, American Legion Riders, Oshkosh Aces Motorcycle Club, the Rustic Riders, the Marine Corps Legion, and the Police and Sheriff's Honor Guard, because they really did a great kickoff for us at the parade, especially as Judy found that fun fact of handing out 10,000 American flags that we are going to proudly wave all year round.
And then coming up next is our little yellow bug, VW Bug, and that's Hometown Broadcasting. And
Which is nice too to see people expanding their careers by doing different things, and they call themselves retro radio. So in Oshkosh, turn to 98.7 to hear them. Also, they have Watoma 102.3 FM, and in Berlin, it's 1100 AM. So alternative ways to hear what's going on and get some great music also.
Dan Fyan for State Senate.
We also have to say that we get all of this parade information beforehand, and it gets put into this wonderful binder, and we have everything numbered.
And then the parade comes out of order.
Yes. so a lot of them are old friends that we know from the parade, and we kind of improvise until we find more information on them. So, but it's nice to see that things are added to the parade.
Well, and as we see all these candidates for office, it's important to know that they have a small staff and a large core of volunteers.
Yes. And just like this parade is brought to you by Oshkosh Media, and it can be seen on Life TV. And again, for more information on the parade, go to oshkoshmedia.org's website. You can find out all of the wonderful shows that we have on, including our Helping Hands show, puts a spotlight on volunteering. But there's so many other shows on there where you can get lots of information and knowledge. So let's celebrate also Oshkosh Media.
And coming up next, we've got the Central Wisconsin Auto Collectors Group.
Whoa.
Knight Rider to begin with.
Wow.
I think that's Knight Rider. Kid from Knight Rider?
Yeah, and he's got the music going with it too. That's really cool. Oh, some more bicyclists. I do love the old-fashioned bikes, you know, with the banana seats and the Schwinn bicycles. Well, that was a big handful of candy that some little group of kids are going to enjoy.
And Shakedown at the EAA. It's Shakedown is a traditional hot rod and custom car show created in 2008. The organizers say we not only have a car show of 1964 and older hot rods and customs, they have a show area for vehicles up to 1974, mini bike races, vintage bicycle rides, flame throwing.
Oh, wow.
Vendors and flea market, great food, vintage campers, general camping, and EAA will be flying the tri-motor Ford in 1929 Travel Air biplane. So lots and lots going on there.
And what is the date for that, Judy? Oh, August 11th through the 13th. So what you guys all can do who are listening to us right now is celebrate the Winnebago County Fair.
And then go for the Shakedown.
The Shakedown, a cool name for an event. And people love to see, I'm calling them vintage cars now, but they were cars that we had when I was growing up. So, but they're wonderful cars.
Well, that means we're vintage,
Yeah.
not old.
Yeah, I like that better than don't call me antique, call me vintage. But so again, they call Oshkosh Event City, and we definitely are. So go to the Shakedown at EAA in August and celebrate. There's something for everyone to do, something for everyone to see. I just can't get over, Judy, all the people.
Right.
All the
And
people.
here we have the Vietnam Vet Associate members. So again, our ladies that are helping with everything with the parade.
The backbone of our parade here. And as Judy said in the beginning, if you're interested in helping out with the parade in any format, contact Judy. She has an in with the parade committee, and she can pass that information on because it does take many hands to put together a parade, because it's not just what you see here, but it's all the behind scenes stuff, the auxiliary police, the taping, the covering, the blocking off the roads, all of that all does play a part into this, and we need people to help support that. So give Judy Ritchie a call if you are interested in being part of the parade committee.
And as these last groups going through are all representatives of the Vietnam vets and the parade committee, the association, how did I have that? The Associates of Vietnam Veterans of America. And we owe them a great, great debt of gratitude for giving up so much time during the year for the planning for this. They'll end up down at Sawdust Days for a little while today. They'll kick back for a little bit, and tomorrow they start critiquing today's event, and then they start planning for next year already.
Now, you just said that too. That's what I didn't see this year was the Sawdust Days float.
No, we didn't.
No, and usually that's our chance to talk about Sawdust Days and the wonderful committee that puts on everything that goes on at Menominee Park this week. or last week and this week for Sawdust Days, which does end today down at Menominee Park. They have a wonderful committee that puts everything together for that. Another celebration for Event City. And here we do see the Vietnam vets and the flags and the respect given. It's the end of the parade, but we still have our energy and we still have our respect, and people are standing, they're clapping, showing the respect for the people who gave us what we all enjoy today. And we're so thankful to be here also, to be part of this tradition, the Oshkosh 4th of July parade here in downtown Oshkosh. So thank you very much for being with us. It's always an honor to have you join us. I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center.
Judy Ritchie with Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels. Thank you for joining us, and have a safe, happy 4th of July.
And enjoy your summer.